Hi guys, Retha here. This morning I wanted to talk to you about a very, very serious topic for us in student accommodation, and that is security and crime around student accommodation and what you find there. And it was all triggered by an article that was released recently about the police force in Cape Town that was deployed, and all of the EFF, SRC, Student Representative Council members marching down to the university to go and hand over a memorandum about this. And, security for me in student accommodation is so, so critical. And I just got so upset when I saw this article and the way they make it look. So I thought, let me share and show you what that article looks like. Okay. So you can see here, it says that, and the heading, I mean, come on, guys, can't you get a better heading? It's like they're just trying to generate clicks, okay? City of Cape Town neglects black bodies by not deploying police to student areas. Why make it about race again? And then, I mean, you can see here, it is the EFF. So in every university, what happens is there are different political bodies in the SRC, right? And then the students can choose who they want to join. So you'll see here, this is specifically, and I mean, you can see from the colors and the slogans and stuff, it is the EFF student council that the student EFF student command that led this initiative. And I'm like, where's the rest of them? Guys, come on. If you know anything about student accommodation, you will know that this is a very real problem for us anyway. And I'll give you a couple of examples of things that happened to us. All right. And it is normally what happens is that, and this has happened to me recently as well, we try and do a rezoning, or we change the use of a property from residential to student accommodation. And all the neighbors will put in their little, what do you call this? Objections, right? Objections. They'll put in objections. Oh, we're going to have crime in the area. Oh, these students are going to use drugs, and there's going to be drugs around and partying and noise and all kinds of nonsense. All right. And if you don't manage your property well, maybe you'll have those issues. But really, the crime really is not from the students. But unfortunately, student houses do attract criminals. They do, because they are easy targets for these criminals. Okay, it is a fact. Why? Because these are kids walking around that aren't used to, being vigilant and that sort of thing. They're walking around with cell phones. They've got laptops that they need for university that they're walking around in backpacks. So yes, there is a crime element, but we need to protect these students, right? They also have a right to live in a safe environment. So where is the police? I want to know that. I've never seen a police car or anything patrolling anywhere near my student accommodation, and we've got many houses in the area. So where are they? I want to see them there. I need help as well. In one of our houses, we have now, they stole a laptop. We put electric fencing all around the property, right? We have cameras. We can see them breaking in. We went and we laid claims at the police station. The police officer comes out. He looks at the footage. Oh, okay, yeah, it looks maybe like someone familiar. But I mean, what? You can't just, so many incidents, and yet there's no visibility of any police anywhere. And we really need this in the student areas. These kids are easy targets for these criminals, right? And you'll see here, they demand the assistance to be in Bellville, Ballard, and Parow. And these are the top student areas in Cape Town. So for me, this is a very valid request that they have. And why do they have to go to this extent of marching and handing over demands? Surely the city must be cognizant, and they have identified these areas as student hubs. So where are they? What are they doing, to protect our students, our kids? These could be your kids, my kids, right? That's living in here. And then they go on about, all of the race stuff, which I don't even look at. You see, they are often subjected to muggings, break-ins, robberies, and harassment. And this is 100% true. We had a mugging in front of one of our houses the one day, and it's two younger type of criminals that were there, and our student was walking, and we could see it on the cameras, right? But only obviously after the fact. Our student was walking up the street, and the next minute, this one person pushed it was a girl, pushed her against the wall and took her watch, right? And she then ran off. She tried to get to her house, and they then ran after her. They tried to grab the pizza that she was carrying. They tried to grab her bag, and luckily she screamed, and the house mother heard the situation, and she came out running to assist her, and then these two ran off, right? But it's true. So how can these kids walk around in the streets feeling safe? And I mean, this is a fairly safe area in Cape Town where we're at. It's not like we're living in the Bundus and, high crime areas. It's a safe neighborhood type of area. Yet when people see the students there and they realize there's washing on the lines, there's all of those things, you have this petty crime happening all the time. And I'm just glad that that person didn't have a knife, because you just don't know what could happen in that type of situation. So I would want to implore the police officers in the city of Cape Town to get behind this request and have a bit of a show of police in the Belleville, Ballard, and Barrow areas, because our kids need it. They definitely do. You see, and then there have been patrols, complaints, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, they say they do it, but I'll tell you one thing, I have not seen them. And I actually work at one of these student houses. That's where our office is, and we are always there. And personally, I can't say that I've ever seen a police car driving around, checking out what's happening there and chasing away vagrants and things like that. So another example I want to give you, and the same story, but this time not in Cape Town. This happened in Potch. Was not even 2 weeks ago. One morning, two of our students wake up. Guess what? There's a person with a gun in their room. The person managed to gain access to the property, and at gunpoint, they robbed these students and they took their laptops and jackets and whatever they thought was valuable at the time. We laid a claim at the police. But what was really, really nice about Potch is that because this is such a great student community area, that most of the houses have cameras that they activated with the Mooi River Armed Response Company, right? So for me, this is a great example also where private people can come on board to help combat crime in these areas. And then because most of them, and those cameras and things are also connected, and it goes to the command center of this armed response company. So what happened is that all the cameras from house to house to house, they could see, they could identify the people, they could identify the car that they were in, and they literally followed them like boom, 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 all across the cameras up to the area where they went to, and they were arrested. Whether they're actually going to, be convicted and go anywhere, jail or whatever, I doubt seriously. But at least they know that they can't, it deters them from coming back into the area. But unfortunately, if you don't have that kind of system and it's just you and your personal cameras, we do have ADT at our properties. But by the time that person would have been mugged and stabbed and in the street, long before she could have pushed an ADT button or a panic button or something to come and get her, and before that car would have been there in the first place. So when when it's only you and you have this camera, okay, great. It helped us to identify the shortcomings or the gaps in our security system, and we were able to close it up. At some point, I kid you not, okay, our gate, where you drive into the back of the property, it has these iron bars going down like that, and it's about that wide. Okay, I must make it smaller because it's smaller than my head. Okay, it's like that. And this guy went straight. He's so thin. Okay, he went and he stole. I think he stole like 2 laptops or something. But on the camera, we could see him going through those bars like that. Phew. He just turned his head and whoops through the gates. I'm like, how on earth did he manage to do that? Anyway, we managed to put in more bars, the horizontal bars, so that you can't go through them so easily, or you can't bend them, or whatever else. And we managed to close up those security gaps like that. But where is the police? We reported it, nothing. We do everything that we possibly can, but unfortunately, the police must also get involved here to help safeguard our kids. It's not right that they have to walk around in fear of being mugged, of their clothing being stolen, their laptops. And I remember these are also NSFAS kids, so it's not like they can just go and get another laptop tomorrow. They don't have the money for that. This is the only way that they can study. And I've also know about a lot of crime happening in the Vereniging area with VUT, Vol University of Technology, those houses. I'm on a WhatsApp group for them, and you can always see students being mugged, students, there it's even worse. There's girls getting raped, there's no lights in the area, there's no proper streets for access to some of the properties. I mean, come on, guys. Let's just get together and help and make things better for our students, because they deserve it. They deserve a better South Africa than this. Thanks. Have a great day.